So this video is going to be a little bit different because it's not really a video. This is a podcast, so in a second the video is going to cut out and it's just going to be the audio because I didn't actually record anything for the video because I didn't really know I was doing this. In a second you're going to hear a conversation between me and Toby from Switzerland, but I'll let him introduce himself. He was an amazing guest. Thank you very much for coming on. I really enjoyed our chat. And yeah, sorry. I will upload this to Spotify once I get my account set up or whatever. And I'll put a wee pinned comment just in the comment section when I've done that. If you don't want to listen to it on YouTube, because I know it's annoying if you got keep your phone open. But yeah, this is my first podcast. Do excuse me. I am new to this. I'm not the best speaker or the best conversationist in the world, but yeah, enjoy. That's cool. So you're from Switzerland?
Yes, I am. I'm from Zurich, and I'm 25, as I already said. I'm a student, so not like you. I saw your video yesterday, and I also wrote down some notes regarding the video we could talk about later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a student, so I made like the equivalent to your A levels. I did them in Switzerland, and now I'm doing my studies. I'm studying political science and law.
Oh, cool.
And what do I do? I do lots of sports and cooking and yeah, thinking a lot of thinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it not always leads to something concrete. Concrete? Do you say that?
Concrete? Yeah, concrete. Yeah.
Because it's not that easy, as you've probably also realized by now.
Yeah. No. So I mean I'm yeah, you might, if you saw my video, you know where I'm at. I've just decided not to go back for A levels, because there's no courses there that would really benefit the path that I want to go on.
But sometimes being kind of smart in a thinking way or understanding of what's going on and the surroundings and the world doesn't really show in the academic.
No, there's yeah.
What you say? What academic output?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, no, there's not.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah, there's not really. I think, obviously, I think I've said this before. Like, I think the education system needs revised. But
a complete overhaul.
Yeah.
Revised. Complete overhaul. That's one thing. I'm also mainly thinking about and trying to figure out what there could be done and what not. But it's, again, very hard to do.
Yeah.
Because I'm just one little person and you are one little person as well. And that's kind of always the issue. Yeah. You have to get relevant to get people listen to you. And that's kind of annoying, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it's funny because it's the thing that I think most people can agree on. Like, everyone agrees that the education system doesn't work and like nothing's being done about it. So
yeah, it's in German we would say it's Doppelmoral. It's a double moral. Do you say that in English as well?
No, I've never.
Everyone knows. It's like everyone knows there's something wrong. Everyone thinks we have to do something about it, but none of the people are willing to really take the responsibility and do something about it. So they just keep talking about, yeah, we should do this and that and this. But yeah.
Yeah, no, and nothing gets done.
Yeah, you could save the air for more important stuff than talking about things you're not really doing. Back to your starting question. What was it again? What do you
what do you want to do? Because you said you had you knew what you wanted to, where you wanted to be, to have the impact that you wanted to have. I'm just curious. What is it that you want to do, or what's your like plan for your life.
Okay, so do you have a pen and paper in front of you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it could be kind of hard to follow without having some keywords or whatever. So as I already told you, I'm 25 right now, so kind of getting old, sadly. But I first started to study in 2021. So I didn't start with political science and law. I started studying architecture.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I started architecture is because I thought I have to study something that really could have an impact on a lot of people and change their lives and improve their lives and maybe give them something they didn't know they needed, but they could get it out of there. And what I wanted to focus in architecture was the rural design, the city design, the open space design. So not only the beautiful posh family homes or the corporate big ass buildings which make a lot of money or whatever. I kind of wanted to focus on the more people related stuff. And as I continued studying architecture, I more and more realized that the main problem I'm running in there is or are the politicians, is politics. Because one of our professors, he was a professor for architectural open space and rural design or something in English, I believe. And he often talked about his own projects where he was involved in. And these were some city projects which overlooked like huge plots of land sitting right in the city. And I drove past them like all of my studying years because the train road or whatever runs through there. And I always wondered, why the heck is there a huge ass plot of land without being worked on? What's happening there? And then suddenly he started talking about this exact plot of land, and he just said, yeah, we're actually already working on this for 20 years.
Jesus.
And yeah, that was my realization as well during the lecture. And I was like, this can't be true. He has to be joking. It cannot be like in a city like Zurich, one of the most expensive cities in the world, that there is a huge ass plot of land just sitting around waiting for someone to do something with it, but they are actually already working on it for 20 years and nothing really happened. And then he started to explain that the reason they couldn't start building anything or start the project was all because of the politics. Because they had those regulations, they had people interfering, they had people like just normal people living there, putting up some lawsuits that they want to hinder like this project or that project, and they don't want to have it this high or this big, and so on and so forth. And in this exact moment, I realized, like, if I really want to have an impact in a scale where I don't just impact the family with a new beautiful home because they have enough money to build it, or a corporate company like AXA or whatever who builds just another huge corporate building, I would have to go to the root of the problem. And then I quit the architecture studies after like what was it, 1.5 years or something. I wasn't doing bad. I was actually doing quite good with all my projects, my assignments, my exams, and so on and so forth. But I couldn't get my head around the fact that I'm in a what do I say, in a study where I'm ultimately being hindered from my work by a complete different section in the
in the government
public environment.
yeah
Exactly. So I quit, and then I started to have a job. I worked a bit on the side. I worked for Apple, where I yeah, just another huge big corporate company, but whatever. Um, but it was kind of great because I had lots of interactions with different people, with just visitors or tourists, with normal people who are studying in Zurich as well, with elderly people, with young people who are working in a normal job, and so on and so forth. So I had all these different conversations, and I'm a kind of what do you call that? An eager person or a
Outgoing, yeah, like a
somewhat a nosy person. I don't have fear to ask people stuff that they don't really get asked by people they don't know.
yeah,
I
yeah,
just ask it. I don't give a damn because why should I? They're the same as I am, and we're having a conversation. And most, like 90 or 59, 95% of the time, the people loved those interactions. They, in the end, they said like, "Oh, we had talks about this and that, and great ideas." And I said to them, "Yeah, you're gonna do great in your studies. You want to start, and so on, whatever." And then I realized maybe I have to go and study politics because in the end, all these crap systems and decisions are made
by
in
the
the
politicians.
parliament.
Yeah.
Politics, yeah. So I talked to my I talked to my parents and I said to them, yeah, maybe I have to go and start studying political science because that's the most easy way to get to know all the systems and how it works and what you have to know and what you have to do and where you have to go. But it's just in Zurich it's a it's a subject which has 120 ETCS. Those are kind of points all over the world where you have to accumulate 180 points in total to get your bachelor's degree. But this course just had 120, so I had to decide what I wanna partner it with. So I chose law because I thought, yeah, to have a good sense of what's actually able to be done through the law or what is right or what's not right and so on could be a great addition to the political science stuff. And as I started studying the political science subject, I ran into all these systems where the professors explained with full confidence, yeah, we have the concept of federalism and we have this and we have that and we have the people who are trying to improve the education system and we have people who are trying to talk in the parliament about what we have to change this there and about this and whatsoever. And I just started to realize with nearly every lecture that this system they are talking about in full confidence is complete utter bullshit, to be honest. Because when you think about a system which you're getting taught and think about your current situation and all the other people's situations around the world, you can't really accept the fact that they say this is the way we have to go and this is the way it works and we just keep doing it like this and it will turn out very good.
Yeah.
They always
Sheep.
talked about it,
Like,
and
yeah.
it's horrifying. So that's when I started around, what was it, 2023 or so. I started thinking about creating my own political party.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
This is great for your
It's kind of
exposure
wild,
then.
but it's not easy, but we'll get there. And I thought about creating my own political party in a complete different way, because the system, which was explained to us, was like, yeah, we have the far right, we have the far left, we have the mild right, mild left, we have the middle parties, and we have the kind of theme parties. I don't know how it's exactly in Northern Ireland or the UK, because you probably have the Labour and the
Yeah.
you have those two
Yeah, the
big
two parties. Yeah.
representative things. And we in Switzerland have like 6, 7, 8 different political parties that are all competing against each other and trying to get their project or their, how do you say, their
their policies and whatever.
Agenda.
Yeah.
Exactly. They try to get this across and get the votes, so they get through with it. And it was always described as the political dispute, like a political war, kind of, because they think it's right to have a political dispute between those political parties, and they always disagree with each other, mostly.
Yeah.
In some rare situations, 3 or 4 get together and think, yeah, okay, you, and you have a good idea. We're gonna represent this all together, but it's very, very rare. So I thought, why the heck do we have to have 6 or 7 different parties battling each other for mainly the same purpose, but just with a different viewpoint? Like, they want to change it more in this way, they want to change it more in that way, and they want to have more like the middle perspective and whatever. So I thought, why not create a party which is full of people, normal, ordinary people, because mostly the people in our political parties, they have to have like a degree, and they have to be in a party for a long time, they have to be relevant, and all those nonsense. So I talked with my mother a lot about the idea of a party where you can have all those different, all those different viewpoints, like the far left, far right, middle, everyone and a bit more to the right, bit more to the left, in one party, and it would be filled with all normal people, not just the big ass successful corporate leader and whatever, an old ass man which is just for 40 years in the politics, so he has to stay there. And the concept will be that those people in this party could talk about the same problems the other parties are also talking about, but in the end, this party will bring out a proposition or a standpoint of view which is already like accepted from the whole range, because you have the whole range inside of the party, and you have normal people inside of the party. You have like a construction worker, you have a teacher, you have someone like me,
normal people,
whatever, exactly. And you can also have a corporate leader in there, or for a different perspective. And this system would provide much faster and much wider resolved solutions than when you have many different parties battling each other and not really getting what the other wants and maybe what the other thinks, because they just want to prove their point for where they are. And this takes like 5, 6, 7 years in some cases to get them to a resolved solution after all. And that's just pure nonsense. Why would you have to talk like 6, 7 years about one precise problem you want to solve? Like, for example, the rent prices. They're talking about rent prices in our parliament for like 8 years now, and they haven't changed anything, because the far right has a different opinion than the far left, and the middle wants something completely different as well. So why not bring them all together in one party and have them discuss this, and maybe get the perspective from the far left in, then change it a bit, adapt it a bit, get some from the far right, and have a conclusion. And not just a war or a battle. And that's one of my ideas. And so that's what I'm working on. I'm working on building this political party, first of all in Zurich, my canton. I don't know if you understand the system of cantons in Switzerland.
No, could you explain that to me? So,
we have 26 different cantons, which make up the whole lot of Switzerland. And all those cantons have their own parliaments. You have a parliament in Zurich, you have a parliament in Basel, you have a parliament in Geneva, and so on and so forth. And if you want to start a political party, the smartest way is to start kind of small, because it's in most situations, starting small is where you have to start.
Yeah.
And And one thing that struck my mind is that when there are political elections or you have to give a vote on a matter, in Zurich there are I don't know the exact number right now, but 1.4 or something million people living. And when there is a vote, you can have a guess now how much of those people in percentage. So if you have 1.4 million equals 100%, how much people do you think go and give their vote? They just have to cross yes or no on a tiny paper, which is sent to them, and they don't even have to do.
No, I want to be optimistic here. I want to say like 90, but I'm scared that's too high.
Yeah, that's way too high.
Oh Jesus!
it's mostly around 30 to 35%.
Oh Jesus! Right. Okay.
So you have 1.4 million people. Out of those 1.4 million people, around 800,000 are eligible to vote. I mean, in the end, 800,000 is to 100%. And from those 800,000, mostly just 300,000 people really cross yes or no. And in the end, 300,000 people decide if the matter gets passed or gets rejected.
Yeah.
And that's equal to 300,000 people who decide for 1.4 million. And that was one point where I thought, like, this can't be true. Yeah. I mean, Switzerland is regarded as one of the most educated and highly educated country around the world. And we have people here that are just maybe too lazy, not educated enough, or distracted, or whatever. So they not even take the small action of crossing a yes or a no on a small ass tiny piece of paper, which would really change something in a behavior of a parliament, or
and it'll be the other 1.4 million that'll complain about the government.
Yeah, because that's the point where I had the realization that can't be true. Because when all those political matters are being voted on, most of the time people aren't that happy what's being decided.
Yeah.
But when you ask them, have you posted your vote? Have you or did you return your letter?
Well,
they most often say no. I forgot it this time, and maybe next time, and I don't know.
Yeah, it's like, and you're like, why are you?
I didn't know we had a vote, or.
It's like, why are you complaining if you're not acting to change it? It's, yeah.
Exactly. So the next step I took was I thought about how many people do I need to get into the national or the local parliament in Zurich. And out of all those 800,000 people who are eligible to vote, I would only need 7,000 people to get 1.64% of the voting share to get into the parliament. So that's when I thought, how hard can it be to get 7,000 people to just put a cross on the name of my political party? It can't be that hard.
Yeah.
I thought it can't be that hard, because in the times of social media, if and all those political parties, they're complete bullshit in social media. They don't really know
they don't know
how to work there. They put out content which is kind of cringe or just makes no sense.
Yeah.
And it's not on the pulse of the people.
It's the fastest growing.
You always have to adapt.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like the fastest growing companies, parties, and everything are all the ones that know how to use social media, because they're the ones that are the most in touch with the people. So. Yeah.
And the core problem of this is the attention of the people is not anymore in the real world or in the newspaper or in the news program on the TV. They most often just sit on their phone and spend their time in social media, if it's YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. But yeah, that's when I realized it can't be that hard. The only hard part is that I'm not really the person who wants to put himself with his face, with all
Yeah.
the stuff
Yeah.
out into the social media world. So that's where my problem starts. But as I have a kind of good fundamental friend group, I started to talk about this idea with these friends, and I tried to convince them that maybe one of them, a person that is kind of open to be in the public and so on and so forth,
Yeah, like the
would be
face of the
willing
party. Yeah.
to take this social media part.
Yeah. No, that's
Yeah, and that's
yeah.
where we're at right now.
Cool. Wow, you've I don't know what I was expecting, but yeah, it's really interesting. You're definitely
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, if you think about what system is ultimately controlling the way we have to behave and the way we plan our lives and we structure our day, it's mostly because of the political boundaries that are set around us.
yeah.
I mean, you have to pay the taxes that are brought up by the government. You have to get a job, which is requested by the government. You have to pay the health care insurance. You have to pay the mortgage. You have to pay the rent. You have to pay all those things, which are essentially all brought up by the parliament, because none of these people were not in parliament just decided at one point in time, yeah, now we're gonna have a tax system.
Yeah.
It's not a private person that invented this. Or, oh yeah, now you have to go and pay for healthcare insurance. That's also not a private person who invented that. It's all the political boundaries that kind of represent our lifelines. And not only the thing about the architecture and the open spaces I would like to design and so on is the driver behind this political party idea. It's also the idea to kind of insect ideas or projects which make absolutely sense, but none of the parties are willing to take on because they could lose some of their votership.
Yeah.
Because they're taking on a subject which doesn't really suit their specific point in the political system, and that's kind of
yeah, because
not understandable.
I don't know. I for a while I was looking at like the voting systems and stuff of every country, and it's basically, I mean, it's not perfect, but it's basically been reduced to like betting on like betting, like on a football team or on a horse or whatever, because it's not, you don't pick the party that you actually want to win. You're constantly just picking the one that you think is most likely to win, which has some of the things that you prefer in it. So it's the whole system's just it's really hard for um like smaller parties to gain traction now, especially when you've got the pre-established ones with a lot of voters and a lot of power and stuff. But yeah, no, that's incredible. I'm so glad that there's actually people trying to do something, which I think that's really cool.
I mean, if you think about the fact that 7,000 people will get my little ass idea already into the local parliament with 2 seats out of 200, where you already have the right to bring up your own ideas and so on, is kind of crazy. And when you think about the whole concept of my political idea of a party, there should be actually no reason why a person would decide to take their vote to one specific party. Because if you have no idea about the political system, or if you ask the people on the streets in Zurich, do you feel represented by your party that you vote for? Most of the time the people say like, yeah, in some parts and maybe not really there, and yeah, but overall they're doing good.
Yeah.
But they're not that sure and they're not that convinced. But if you have a political party which is set up by a bunch of normal people, maybe with some educated and more educated people in there, whatever, which is balanced on the whole spectrum of political parties and the whole spectrum of different lives, because you have the construction worker, you have the teacher, you have the healthcare worker, you have everything. You would have everything in there. There would be actually no reason why a person wouldn't feel like represented through this party. Yeah, so in essence, the idea is just you have one party, the party is full of the whole spectrum, and one of the key features in this party will be that there are those different positions represented by smaller groups, and when you have to decide something, or you have to put out a position on a political matter, they will be talking about it. They will have the different standpoint of views like discussed, and they will put out their solution as a whole unit, and not just as it's now this standpoint from this perspective.
Yeah.
But they would talk all of this through, and would represent it as a one group, and not just for right, for left, or whatever. And they would have an internal vote, like you have to have 4 of the 5 different standpoints to agree on it. So none of the 2 rights could partner with the middle to get against the lefts, and not the left could partner with the middle against the rights. You always have to get a right one or a left one into the vote, so you can represent this whole idea. And that's in essence what my idea is about this little or bigger project. Hopefully it gets bigger sometime, but at the moment it's just in the starting stage.
Still early days. No, that's really cool. I wish you the best of luck with that. That sounds like you're actually trying to make a positive change, which is more than I can say for most people. That's no,
because I don't know how you could, or how you or how there's a different way to approach the relativeness you could get through having a political party, regarding how people will accept your ideas and your opinions is just different to if you get as a person like a famous influencer or something.
Yeah.
I mean, to become a famous influencer nowadays isn't that hard at all. It's not easy.
No, but
it's definitely not easy, but it's easier than building your own political party.
Yeah.
But I think building a political party would be more sustainable and has more longevity than just being a one-off influencer, famous figure, or whatever.
Yeah.
And fundamentally, I want to try to change a lot of the thinking and the perception of how people see life, and how people see politics, and how people think they have to interact with the world and with their daily life through political change.
That's really cool. That's amazing. That is. Yeah, that's just incredible. I mean, I did not expect to have such a. I did not expect to have this conversation. But no, that's really cool.
You never know what to expect.
No, I was like, I actually, because
it's always. Nah, there's a reason why Virgil van Dijk is my profile picture. This man is pure consistency, pure winner's mentality, and I try to achieve some stuff through this mentality.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. That's amazing. I wanted to I also wanted to talk to you about some of the other things you said, like the psychological like state. Like this is less like physical change. It's more like mental change within yourself. Like the way you said, like the psychological state is a minefield, and like how you and other people affect it. I thought that was really good. Do you feel like expanding on that?
You mean the concept behind the landscape you have to fill with stuff you really care about, and not just try to maneuver around problems and so on. Yeah, I mean the whole idea behind what I wrote there was kind of aiming towards the giving up on your. Yeah, it sounds kind of dramatic, but if you rationally and logically think about how people live their lives, many people seem to have given up on living their own life.
Yeah.
Because if you open YouTube, you can have a look at many different people's lives and how they live life and what they do and what they aspire and so on and forth. And that's definitely nothing bad. But if you just spend like your whole day or half of your day, or you spend 8 hours working and on your way home you start digging into TikToks or Instagram or
Yeah.
whatever, you just I
You're
feel like you just start to neglect your own life and your
yeah.
own landscape,
You're
and you
you're more
suddenly.
invested in someone else's life than your own.
Exactly. And what I meant with that, to people start to give more attention about shaping other people's lives or landscape in this perception um, than their own, is like when you think about how an influencer or all these YouTubers or whatever people. I'm not really in this social media world, so I can't
Yeah.
really pinpoint what they are or whatever. But if you think about how they make their money, it's mostly about telling other people, yeah, look, this and this is awesome. You should try it out. Give it a go.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
essence, they want to tell you buy this stuff, and many people just fall into the trap that they just believe what they hear and they think, yeah, this will change my life. I'm gonna buy it, and
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
buy it. They receive the product or whatever PDF or book or whatever they receive, and
Mm.
and and then they don't really know what should I do now with it. What
Yeah. It's like
what really changes now? I mean, I have it now, but nothing really changed. How
yeah.
do I use it? What should I do now? And that's, yeah, it's not understandable for me
Mm.
why someone should do that. And if
No.
you think about what I mean, sometimes you have in cities you have those peoples begging for money,
Yeah. Yeah.
and most of the people just pass them. They just walk past them and they don't give them money.
Mm.
But in essence, all the influencers, all the YouTubers selling products to you or selling books or PDFs to you, they're kind of also begging,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
without you buying their product or their whatever, they couldn't really do what they are doing.
Yeah. No. I
So
I don't know if I ever get like if my channel ever gets like gains traction, like blows up or whatever, I don't ever plan on taking like a sponsorship of anything, because I don't think it would it wouldn't benefit me to tell people, oh, this is what I've been using, this is, this is amazing. Like the only I think like I mean I recently got a new camera. um I think it's really cool.
yeah, no, I've
um
heard.
but I wouldn't go out and tell people like this is exactly like this is the only camera you'll ever need. You should buy this one. This is like if I do end up doing like a wee review on it, it'll be more like these are my thoughts. Do what you want with it. It's
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. And don't get me wrong. I mean, people on the internet, there are some people that promote really useful stuff. I mean, if you say I'm never gonna take a sponsorship, that's whatever you decide. But if you think about a sponsorship from a school or
mm,
from a university or from somewhat psychology firm company, I mean, that wouldn't be that bad,
yeah,
because some companies out there, they have real value. They can improve your life through what they do
yeah, yeah,
and or through what they provide. And if you promote things like this, which can really change lives or help to improve people's lives, I mean, that's not something bad. But if you just start your own clothing brand, and it's just one of
Yeah,
the 100 million brand that there is, and some other kid in the Philippines or Thailand just produces another type of T-shirt for one of the 100 millions companies, and the influencer or YouTuber tries to say, yeah, now go and buy my clothing brand. It's just kind of utter nonsense.
Yeah, like I
and that's what I'm more about.
yeah, no, because
I
I
mean, if you have
was
real value, that's perfectly fine.
yeah, because I was when I looked at other uh business YouTubers, which was what yeah, don't laugh at when I was when I was looking at them to see what sort of business models and stuff they've used before and are the most popular and that would probably be easiest to start. A lot of them haven't actually made their money like with an actual business. Most of them make their money by sort of setting up a business and then starting a paid course for how you can set up a business like them. And that's where most of their income comes from, is from selling courses, not actually like doing business. Which I saw that and
Yeah,
I
and
was yeah.
that's kind of funny that you mentioned that, because I just saw a documentary like 3 or 4 days ago, where the Swiss national television thing, the whatever, SRF, Swiss radio and TV, um, they went and dug a bit deeper into this matter, and they interviewed some people who sell those courses, and that comes exactly back to the problem I was talking about earlier, that those people are selling a program or a course on how to build like a drop shipping business or whatever affiliate marketing stuff, and as they sell their course, they just give the people like a whole bunch of videos where they explain, yeah, you have to do this, you have to do that, and we will coach you on this and we will coach you on that. But in the end, the people will sit there exactly the same and wonder themselves, yeah, what the heck do I do now with this?
Yeah,
Where do I actually start with it? What do I think I will get from this? They just hear the numbers, like, yeah, I made 200,000 Swiss francs within 1 month, and they think, oh, I want to get this money as well, but they never really think about the process behind how to get there,
yeah.
and that's
It's I
it's
think
kind of a scam.
mm, mm, yeah. I think a lot of them are just to it's like you said, like the I made such and such in a month, and you're like, and then that's the hook, and they're like, oh, it's okay, right? I can make money. I can make money like this, and they always advertise it as like a passive income. Like they don't have to, like they only have to work like 4 or 5 hours a week, but like
Yeah,
it's never. I don't think you can create a business that's passive. Like the whole essence of the business is you are like constantly working and constantly feeding into it. Like these people that are going around advertising like drop shipping stores where you have to like you just have to set it up and it runs itself. It's like I look at that and go like that there's no like you're always taught like if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And I look at that and go like there's no way that you're ever going to make a sustainable income from doing nothing. It's like I think that's
yeah.
what
I mean, you have to think about how much money they put into advertising their freaking plan,
yeah.
their dropshipping plan or affiliate marketing plan. I mean, they put a lot of freaking money in there, so you see all those uh, advertisements on YouTube, Instagram, and so on and so forth. So how is someone able to post that much? What's the word for
Content.
verbo?
Yeah, like or yeah.
Advertisement? I don't know.
Adverts. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so how are they able to do that? Probably not just because they make that much money with their drop shipping model,
Yeah,
because they're not advertising that, they're advertising their plan,
yeah.
which should lead you to have this drop shipping business or whatever.
Yeah, and I
So it's
think
kind of it's blatant in somewhat a
yeah,
way.
it's definitely. I think it's definitely become a trend. I think within like social media to do something, and like you sort of only like people the the people that are selling these courses really only get to baseline and then sell the course because they realize how much work it actually takes to um, get a business up and running. Because like I think a lot of people think, especially the with like the younger like 16 to 30 year old range, a lot of people are starting their side hustles or starting their passive income, and they think it's gonna be like so easy to just sit back and the money will just roll in. And I think a lot of people fundamentally don't understand then how a business actually operates, like the amount of hours you have to put into running a business, the amount of mistakes and um, retries you have to do.
Setbacks.
Yeah,
There are always setbacks.
yeah, and it's I think it's just a lot of people end up trying models like this, and then they sort of realize that they don't work, and then it sort of it hits them. And I think a lot of the people that would have been better off just trying to start something themselves and uh, actually try and build something from the ground up end up quitting before they maximize on their potential, because they've been let down by a course or by an influencer that sold them a dream, basically. And I think
Yeah, exactly.
because I was actually I'm not exempt from it. For a while, I was looking at different courses and stuff, and I was considering, well, it might help me get off the ground. And then I looked at like if you because you can look at the actual stats of like the people um that bought the course versus the people that actually made money, and like most of them quit after like the first 2 months. And so it can't be like you're definitely not like the only person that's winning there is the influencer. Like there's
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up system.
Mm,
It's not really something valuable in my opinion. I
no.
mean, it's valuable or cool if you want to try to help someone better their life or better their income or whatever. But if you dig deeper in this matter, you will realize that it's just kind of them trying to make their money without really improving
Yeah.
your life. I mean, they suggest that they will improve your life, and many people fall for this trap
Yeah.
because they are just in such a bad situation that they take every straw they can take to think they're going to be in a better situation after whatever time. But most of them will realize it won't happen.
Yeah.
And then they are kind of devastated, and it's hard to get going again.
Yeah. And I think so I also think along the lines of social media, we're probably entering quite controversial territory here. Um, I have a theory, and you can say what you want to this. But I think there's something called the illusionary truth effect, which is if you're exposed to something a certain amount of times, you start to diagnose yourself. Like it used to be like TV adverts for like viruses and stuff, and like back in like the 80s, 90s to early 2000s, and a load of people would go to the doctors thinking they had like whatever disease was being spread at the time, because they've they'd given themselves symptoms, or they've falsely diagnosed their symptoms, and attributed to it this illness. And you'll see where I'm getting in a second. I think that a lot of the mental health argument with like depression, anxiety, has actually the phones have not caused it. The social media hasn't caused mental health, depression, anxiety. I mean, obviously it hasn't had an effect with all of you being constantly exposed to all of the things that you don't have, all of the opportunities you're not taking. But I
Hmm.
think what amplifies that more is the fact that a lot of people see anxiety is an issue, depression is an issue, and all of like they're constantly exposed to these things telling them to be aware of their mental health and to be um and to if you have these symptoms you have anxiety, if you have these symptoms you're depressed. And I kind of wonder where it went to where sad and scared went, because I think I said this before, like depression is just extrapolating sadness. You just think that um like something sad happens and you're just um amplifying it to the point where you can't like you're always sad. And I think that it's just that's my theory on why um, mental health is such a big issue now, because so many people think that they should, like, because they're like 1 in 5 people have anxiety or 1 in 5 people are depressed, and then everyone thinks that they should be depressed or they should be anxious. That's
Yeah, that's a kind of good perception of this problem. Because if you think about the time before COVID
mm,
and you think about the time after COVID, you will realize that many, many, many people had their own realization during the COVID time that they aren't really where they want to be.
mm,
Because during the COVID time, many people had to stop working. And if you cut out the work from everyone's daily life, you get many hours where you essentially have nothing to do.
mm,
And if those people never really thought about their life, their situation, what they're doing, how they're feeling before that time, they suddenly had so much time at their hands that they couldn't really do something else than start thinking about their situation.
mm,
Because most of the people, they were on their phones, they were on their computers, they started trying out sport. They realized, oh, it's kind of cool to go and have a cycling session with my boyfriend, girlfriend, brother, friend, whatever.
mm.
And it's kind of funny that you can see that in the production line of electrical bicycles.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know if you know that, but during the COVID time, all those electric bicycle companies, they ramped up their production like crazy, because suddenly all the people realized, oh, it's kind of cool to be outside. It's kind of cool to
yeah, because
to move around on a bicycle. And after the COVID pandemic was over, the sales of electric bicycles, they just crashed,
mm,
because all the people went back to their daily lives and had to work and didn't really think about what they're doing, how they're feeling, what could improve their lives, and they just stopped buying those bicycles. And then all these companies went into a huge deficit and had to close down. And that's kind of, yeah, it's ironic if you think about it. If you give people time to think about their own life, they will realize stuff that will improve their life. But if you take the time away from them again, they
yeah.
they just fall back into the same rhythms.
Yeah, I saw a really good quote the other day that the answers you're looking for is in the silence you're avoiding, and it's basically
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's basically that so many people fill all of their spare time with scrolling or watching YouTube videos or playing video games, and all of those things are totally fine to do, but I think many people don't give themselves time to think. Like I was, I when I've just started walking every day, and that's kind of like, um, I guess, because a lot of people that recommend like meditation and stuff, and that's one of
Hmm.
the millionaire habits, quote unquote. But I understand, like I've started to understand why they do it. It's not that um, it's not that the act of sitting still and humming is good for your health. It's removing the distractions from your life and giving yourself time to think. And so the first the first like 2 days when I was walking, I had my headphones on, I was listening to podcasts, I was listening to music, and then I started to think, well, what if I just left my headphones at home? What if I just walked, like with nothing, and I just thought, and then that sort of pulled me out because I was really stuck for 2 weeks. I was sitting doing nothing. I was just watching YouTube, scrolling, uh, like I was doing nothing. Like and I kept telling myself I need to get out of this. I need to get out of this. Um, but I couldn't bring myself um to get away from everything, and so it took me um a couple days to just sort of inch my way out and sort of just leave all of like the distractions behind. And I now wonder, because I never, like, before um my exams, I was like, I didn't scroll all day. I didn't watch videos. Like, I was pretty good at doing stuff, and then the exams finished, and I sort of just
Then you have time.
and I had so much free time, and I was like, well,
Yeah.
what do I fill it with? And then I started
Mhm.
watching, and I just started watching a whole bunch of YouTube, and then I realized that it sort of sucks you into this like this void where it's really really difficult to escape. And like, I wasn't thinking clearly for like 2 straight weeks. I wasn't thinking clearly. I wasn't, like, I knew I should be doing something, but I was every day just getting up, just not doing nothing, just going through the motions. It was very and now that I'm on the other side of it, I look back and I realize that, like, like if I hadn't have just taken my headphones off and walked in silence, like, how much longer would I be stuck in that state? And then it concerned me even more, is how many other people are just stuck,
Mhm.
just trying to
Yeah.
instead of just listening to
Millions.
themselves think, they just try and silence it with so much stimulation and so much so like, I'm not. So that's why I think I do think it's very important to give yourself time to think, because although I'm not in any way religious or superstitious, I now completely understand why so many people recommend that you do meditation. So
Yeah, I mean, calling it meditation is just, it's just like a modern way of packaging something that in essence is really just spend time with yourself.
mm, mm,
And if you tell the people, yeah, you have to spend more time with yourselves, they start thinking like, oh, what the heck are you talking about?
yeah. So it's
I'm spending time with myself all the time, so what's the point? And if you tell them, yeah, maybe you should try out meditation, they think about, oh, okay, meditation, what is it actually? How does it work? And then they think, yeah, maybe it will help me, calm me down, or help me with my anxieties or whatever. But in essence, it's actually the same thing as if you tell someone, spend time with yourself actively and thinking, or if you tell someone, yeah, try out meditation.
mm,
It's
it's
kind of in essence the same thing, but there is a different technique to meditation. But yeah, you just start thinking about yourself, and that's where most, probably all, yeah, some of the ideas I have, they origin during, or they come up to me during the lectures, because I always process and think, and like, how do you call, I'm kind of, I'm very I'm very critical, and I, how do I say this in English? Hinterfragen. I question. Yeah, okay, makes
mm,
sense.
yeah,
I
yeah. No, I know what you mean.
I
Yeah, yeah.
question. I question literally. I question literally everything. I question myself. I question how other people behave. I question how we should behave. I question how corporate companies behave, and
Mm,
all those things. And if you never question stuff around you, because people start thinking like, yeah, you're a bad person. You have a negative mentality,
yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Then yeah, okay. But if you just like take a floaty boat and sit in the river and go with it, you will never get out of this floaty boat in the river. So you're stuck in this boat, and you will never see things differently, and you will never realize things could be differently and maybe should be differently than what we're doing or what we're thinking. And the point with your walking without your headphones is something I realized like three years ago. And I also went like just outside. I walked around. I went to the mountains. I walked in the forest. I walked on the street. I walked on the lake or wherever, but without anything, without my phone, without headphones, nothing. And I just constantly was thinking about my surroundings, about the people, about what am I doing, about how could I do it differently. And that's where probably most my ideas have their origin. Like the political party I mentioned earlier, it just struck me in the during the lecture. Like these systems, this can't be true. This has to be a joke. What the hell? How could we do like this? Or why is it like that? Then I went home. I thought about it a bit more. Then I probably watched YouTube, maybe a Liverpool game or whatever. And I'm definitely not a person free of distraction.
No, me neither. Me neither.
I mean, it's nearly impossible nowadays to be a person without any distractions. You probably have to be a monk or is it nun in English? Nun?
Monk? No, monk's fine. Same thing.
Okay. Yeah, you probably would have to be something like this or in an environment like this to be completely free of all this nonsense. But your realization with the walking without headphones and so on, that's awesome. And having this realization with 16 is more awesome than anything. Because people like your age or in your age, they most often start to fall apart, because if you consume all these social media contents and videos and whatever, and you never really think about your own life, and suddenly you hear someone talking about his own life, and maybe he's talking about, oh, I have anxiety regarding this, or I have problems with this, or I have an eating disorder or whatever, and you're in a mental state that maybe isn't actually that good, but you haven't realized it till now because you're just stuck in this social media cycle. And then you maybe just start to think about, oh, he has mental problems about this and that. Yeah, maybe I think about myself. Yeah, I have some problems too. And then they just start to fall into the pattern of following other people's problems, like you mentioned earlier with the problem earlier with the disease, and
the illusionary truth effect.
Oh, I have this and this.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
that's just a never-ending cycle. It feels kind of to me, and that's actually sad. It's really sad, because if you think about what human beings were actually meant for, or made for, it's definitely not following some freaking screen and
it's
accepting their life through a screen.
Yeah, it's very refreshing to talk to someone that's, for lack of a better way to describe it, can actually think for themselves and isn't just a sheep. And it's very, not that other people are very, obviously everyone has their own thoughts and stuff, but it's very rare you find someone that actually, like I like thinks that like I do, and just is very, it's, and just questions everything. Because I have the way I live, all of my perceptions on the world, I live by strong beliefs loosely held. So like I am 100% willing to change my beliefs if enough substantial evidence is gathered to support the new belief. So like the second that
that's awesome.
So the second that someone can prove to me that there is a God or that there's an afterlife, I will happily accept that and happily start praying or whatever. But it's just it's to me it doesn't make sense to believe things where there's such a lack of evidence. Um, and like obviously, I think I've done maybe too much thinking about like death and this kind of a morbid topic.
No, no, no.
But
There's never too much thinking.
I think I've done well a lot of thinking then on just sort of what happens when I die, and it's maybe strange to like hear a 16-year-old talk about the end of their life, but I've not
No, it's completely cool. I
I
talked about it with my mom when I was 8.
yeah.
It's just not normal anymore, and that's the sad part.
Like
I mean, what you said, it's cool to meet someone that's not like a sheep. And if you think about yourself, or if I think about myself, when I talk to people around me during my studies, or when I was in high school, or whatever you call it in England, high school, I don't know.
yeah.
If I was talking to them like I'm talking to you right now, they thought I'm kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But
Like,
that's actually sad, because it's definitely not crazy. It's not crazy to think a lot about death. It's not crazy to think a lot about perception of life. It's actually what people were meant for, to think about what they are and who they want to be and how they want to be and why they want to be how they think they need to be. That's actually life. And if you talk to people around wherever you are, and they start to struggle to understand what you're talking about, you immediately will realize that this person is just maybe not up for speed with this thinking. And most of those people who I talked about these things, they kind of started to talk down on me, and it makes absolutely no sense.
yeah.
Because in a way you, and it sounds super stupid, but in a way you are actually superior to probably billions of people who are actually not thinking about anything, rather than just following everything.
I wouldn't say I think I'm not I understand completely what you're saying, but
I mean, not superior in
yeah,
being
I know what you
whatever. I
mean.
mean,
Yeah.
just in the thinking.
No, I'm definitely I know what
Every
you
person is equal.
yeah, no, yes, no, I understand I understand that. I just at the minute I'm thinking, yeah, I definitely want to like post this conversation because this is I think this would be great just to put on my channel because this is like actually having a conversation where I can um like when I'm putting out videos, it's very even though I don't really care what people think, I still have to take into consideration my audience and what they're actually ready for. Like I wasn't I wasn't going to start talking about you're gonna die. You've got however many days left to live. But I think I'm definitely gonna put this. I'm definitely gonna post this. This is okay with you. Um,
Sure.
because I think this is just really cool. So I just want to clarify. I don't think I'm above anyone else, but I understand what you mean. Like the superiority, mentally, in that we probably have to give ourselves both big heads. We probably have we probably have a more advanced line of thinking rather than just um, the just the average accepting what you're told. And I think that's a big problem with again the education system is you're constantly taught that you should not be wrong or you should know the answer. And so like you're if you put your hand up to answer a question and you're wrong, that's you're taught that's immediately bad. So you end up either not answering questions or not asking questions, and then you're sort of trained to not think for yourself. You're trained to just accept what is handed to you and not question it. And I think that that is a big problem. It's one of the main problems.
It's a huge problem.
Like, and I mean,
if you think about people that are not fit, if you take, for example, a person who weighs like 110 kilograms, if you tell this person, hey, you really have to start working out, you really have to get your body moving, you won't be healthy like this for very long. And if you tell this person that, he probably will understand, yeah, okay, I'm overweight and I probably have to change something about it. Maybe I have to change my behavior. Maybe I have to change my diet. Maybe I have to change my thinking of how I'm spending my time. But if this person starts, and all of these people will run into a situation where it gets really hard, where they have to push through, where they have to dig deeper, where they have to keep going to really achieve the goal of being more healthy and more fit. And if these people just give up because it starts to get too hard for them, then it's kind of the same as I think about the mental thing you just talked about. If people just give up on their own ideas, own thinking, they kind of give up on themselves a bit.
Yeah. I mean, in my to come back to the thing about me thinking about like death a lot is I've put above my bed what I worked out. I worked it out the other night. I worked out how many years, days, and hours optimistically I have left to live. And yeah, so like this is like I'm maybe like really extreme.
That's really deep.
Yeah.
That's really.
And I.
But it's awesome.
And I worked that out. I think I've got it here. It's like if I'm 16, I optimistically have 64 years, 23,000 days, and $500,000, and then a third of that on average I would spend sleeping. So I actually have like 42 years, 15,000 days, and 370 hours, 70,000 hours, and I put that above my bed to so like I can see it when I'm falling asleep, and just to remind myself like it really, like, you can just do what you want because it really doesn't matter. Like, this is all you've got left. And I think that's especially the one I think I had one lesson which actually deeply impacted me in school, and that was in physics when we were learning about the expansion of the universe, and the fact that the universe is expanding faster than the speed of light, and hypothetically we cannot travel faster than the speed of light, and so we have a bubble. We're in a bubble in a solar system which we will never extend past. It's something, I don't know how many light years across it is, but we will never traverse the universe.
Yeah, it's actually crazy if you start thinking about stuff like this.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
crazy.
And the sun's gonna expand, and like the Earth is not. It's kind of when you start thinking about like the fact that nothing is indefinite, it sort of makes it a lot easier to do what you want to do. When I heard that, I couldn't even describe to you how I felt. I think I just spent that lunch break just sitting, just thinking about that, and I was like, right, so if we can never leave the universe, and we can never, like, and the sun's gonna explode and we're all gonna die, and I was like, do you know, screw it, and then that sort of, because I was already thinking at the time about starting a business and doing what I wanted, having an impact, and then that was the final nail in the coffin, I guess you'd say, of right, I'm doing this because it doesn't matter, ultimately, what I do, and so I might as well just do what I want. And yeah, I think that was
That's huge props for a 16-year-old, and even like you started thinking about this. You said with 15, 14.
I was
Yeah, that's
yeah. I mean, hey, when the sun
kind of
explodes,
remarkable.
look on the bright side. I'll be dead. So.
Yeah. Funny thing about it is the bright side, because there won't be any bright side anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I totally get what you're talking about. It's crazy. If you really think about stuff like this, you will understand a lot of things. And if I have a small little example, I don't know if you already know this or you already heard about this. If you were able to take a mirror onto a planet, I don't know which one it was exactly, but there is this idea that you could take a mirror or a extremely well thought out microscope, that if you would look back onto the Earth, you would see a complete different time than where we are at right now. Because speed travels so far and so fast that if you go enough far away, you could actually look back in time.
Yes.
But,
yeah.
Yeah. That was one thing I heard, like when I was 16, 17, and I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, it's
if I go far enough away, I could see Jesus, if he's really true or if he was really alive.
yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. No, actually, I think that's quite interesting. I've heard or I've seen enough historical evidence that proves that Jesus was probably a real person, whether or not he was whether or not he was like the Son of God or whatever that or performed miracles. We can still have that debate, but yeah, I will accept that he's probably a real person. It was yeah. I mean, it's very I think it's very humbling in a way when you realize the vast like just how big everything is and how small and I guess insignificant you are by comparison.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And I think that helps, especially people that feel confined. Like, it's almost, I find it funny that I behaved in a way that I thought I had to be accepted by a certain social circle, or had to behave in order to be accepted by people like in my school. And I came to realize that there's like 8 billion humans. Like, I don't have to, like, there's no rule saying I have to agree with anyone in my year. There's no rule saying I have to agree with anyone in my hometown. I can totally like have my own beliefs, and like I do have a really good friend. He's actually away on holiday at the minute. So kind of missing him, but he's gonna be back, and he does a very good job at tolerating me, and the way I think. So, yeah, I think
That's awesome.
I think that
You don't really need many friends, but you need friends who truly understand you and take you for what you are, and not just try to form you or change your beliefs or whatever. Most of the time, it's awesome to have someone who's a bit critical. And who questions stuff, but not in a way like questioning and trying to move you in a way of their own thinking. Just questioning the subject or whatever you're talking about. That's awesome.
No,
that's really, really awesome. So I don't know how much time you have left, but
I've probably got like I think I have to go in like 10-15 minutes. So I've got like that much time left.
Yeah, so I took some notes during your last video. I would like to talk. Because you said in one of your first things that you think you have to learn a new valuable skill. Like
yes.
coding.
Yeah.
Or social media stuff or whatever. And what I wrote down about this is that I don't really think you actually have to spend too much time on developing a new valuable skill, because your thinking and way of talking is actually a pretty valuable gift in itself. So, do you get what I
Yeah,
tried to
yeah,
say?
no, I understand. Yeah, no, I do understand what you're saying.
I mean, I get that you wanna widen your skill set with being able to code or being able to see through the social media advertising and all those things. But that's just one point. The no A levels. I
Yeah,
think that's kind of cool if you have this realization with 16. But I think you always have to keep that. You could always have the option in your head to go back there.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. No, I've tried my best to keep all my options open. Like I've
yeah,
tried
that's exactly the point.
so I've done the way I've done it is I've done a tech course which is it's the equivalent of 3 A levels. So I can still go and do certain degrees. I can also go back and do my actual A levels later on if I decide I want to do that. I can go to uni if I want to. I think
Yeah,
it's
that's perfect.
I've tried to do as much as possible. Just keep my options open so that I can always backtrack if I need to, and that's I think there's a lot of people that aren't willing to take a risk um, on themselves because they think that if they don't pass these exams, it's the end of the world. Like I know people that were really freaking out over their GCSEs and like they were like, if I don't pass this, this is the end of the world. I can't go to this uni. I can't do. And I was sitting there going, you can always just redo your GCSEs. You can always redo these exams. Like there's nothing. It's a lot of I think there's a lot of fear around um, these exams in particular because they kind of dictate the rest of your future, and I think a lot of people are concerned about them, and they think that, it's like I think it's just maturing is realizing that the risks aren't actually that big of a risk. There's only a certain number of decisions that will actually permanently impact your life, and those being things that will actually impact your health, such as like smoking, drinking, uh, lifestyle choices, and like things that will physically impact you. Those are kind of the only irreversible ones, which I've just decided to not even put in the equation and um, cut them out already. But every other decision, like if my business doesn't work, or if I don't become successful, if I don't grow on YouTube, um, if I don't do like, it's not the end of the world. Yeah, sure, I could waste 5, 10 years, but like I can still like in 50 years time I can still uh go and do my exams. Like it's not um I think there's the irrational fear that some people have that that they're going to be affected for the rest of their life, and
Yeah,
it's just
that's true.
and so I just that's why I made the decision to leave and go for a tech course instead, because I think it would give me more time um, to uh, to work on business and work on myself and do what I want to do, versus like all of, versus the going down the normal academic route of doing my exams, doing my A levels, going to university, going to college or whatever. And I think especially a lot of people are against me doing that because I am uh like
Yeah,
I'm a
something different.
yeah, it's like
It's
I'm a
not normal.
no,
It's
it's
not
not,
percepted as
especially
normal.
especially for like a straight A student.
That's awesome.
I shouldn't be I should be going to uni. I should be doing my A levels. I should be pursuing the highest paying job. I should be I that's I've tried to rid myself of the phrase should be, because saying that I should be doing something is very limiting, and also a very narrow-minded belief. You're basically complaining that the world isn't the way you thought it was. Like, oh, I should have done it. I should have remembered his birthday. I should have made that shot. I should have done my GCSEs. I should have put more work into this. And it's like, you could have done that, but you didn't. And there's no point in complaining about something that, a decision that you made that negatively affect you, that you can't now change. And it's I think that saying should is a very is a word that I've tried to um use as little as possible.
Yeah, should. The word should is based on what's brought up by other people.
Mm.
I mean, it's not something you yourself think you should. It's the majority of people, society, and system who think you should do your A levels. You should go to university. You should.
And it just.
But in the end, yeah. No, I have a final proposition for you. You could maybe think about.
So we kind of dragged on a little bit. We talked for half an hour on different ideas for my channel, different ideas for content and stuff. And I'll give you the TLDR because we did go on a little bit too long. Basically, my content, nothing much is going to change. All that's going to be different is I'm going to do more podcast, videocast style videos, which I will be uploading both to YouTube and to Spotify. So you can watch me on YouTube or listen to me on Spotify. And I believe Spotify also has a video feature now, so you can watch me on Spotify as well if you want. But if you're doing that, you might as well just watch on YouTube. The Spotify is really just for the people that don't want to take like 15-20 minutes specifically out of their day to watch me, which I get. I much prefer just listening to videos if I don't have to watch them. It's more convenient for me, and so that's what I'll be doing for everybody else. So you can now listen to my video. You will now be able to listen to my videos on Spotify as well. I'm not going to upload any of my older ones to Spotify. I'm going to start with this one, and yeah, that's what I will. That's what will be happening with my proper deep dive content from now on. The second thing that's going to happen is that I'm going to upload at least one vlog video every week. So you're going to have one podcast and one vlog every week, and the podcast is going to be available on Spotify and on YouTube, and the vlog is only going to be available to watch on YouTube because it doesn't make sense to upload that to Spotify. With Instagram and that's really like a social platform. I do not enjoy uploading to Instagram. I really don't really know what I'm supposed to upload because my life is not that interesting. My main Instagram, I think I'm just gonna have one post a month. Gonna be like the highlight of the month, the whatever happened, I don't know. And then my second Instagram, I think I'm just gonna post whatever I feel like, to be honest. You maybe get clips from podcasts, clips from videos. You might get like quotes that I think are helpful. You might get more behind the scenes content, I guess, of what goes on. I don't really know what Instagram is. I've kind of figured out YouTube. I've kind of figured out the flow for YouTube. Instagram, I have no idea. If someone wants to come along and explain that to me, that'd be great. So that's what's happening with my channel. Just in case you're interested, I just cut this bit out because it dragged on for way too long. I look forward to seeing how your party goes. Thank you very much for taking the time to talk to me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. We
All right.
hear from each other, and we'll talk next time. Yeah.
Yep. See you later.
You're doing perfectly fine. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye. I just want to say a massive thank you. I know this is still rolling. I want to say a massive thank you to Toby. He was an amazing guest, and yeah, I'll see you later. Bye.